Grizzlies fans, welcome home. The guys have been on the road for over a week, but they are back today playing against the Orlando Magic. Joining me for the very first time, Kendra Douglas, to break down this game tonight. Kendra, are we excited?
We're very excited. I feel like for this team, they want to bounce back, just lost against Cleveland at the Kia Center. So, and this is also going to be the first trip that we have here on the road before we go on a 10-day. So I think they would love to bounce back and I'm excited. I'm here in Memphis.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So the Magic are 23 and 21, eighth in the East.
Mhm.
9 and 14 on the road. The Grizzlies at home this year, Kendra. Good news for you, bad news for me. 4 for 15 at home, 13th in the West. You mentioned it. Orlando coming off of a loss from Cleveland. The Grizzlies, however, coming off 2 wins against the Raptors and the Heat, very short-handed with only 8 or 9 guys. I'm going to read out our injury report real quick. Um,
Okay.
so Santi Aldama today is questionable. Out is, of course, Steven Adams, Desmond Bain, Brandon Clark, Jake LaRavia, John Morant, Derrick Rose, and Marcus Smart. In terms of Orlando, is there anyone big that is noteworthy about injuries?
I think just Gary Harris is the only one. And I think that's been, I hate to say great for us, but like great that we are starting to get guys healthy and back because we were in that position where we had people just out. And so it's really good that we are continuing to grow and get healthy. And so it's a process. So I understand what you're going through.
Yeah, we need a little bit of that now. We need to get some of the guys
Yeah.
back in the lineup. I think we're still a few weeks out from a lot of the big guys coming back. For today's game, we're looking at Orlando for the first time, and it's like,
Mhm.
look, both these teams are bottom five in the league in points per game. They're bottom five in the league in assists per game. The one thing that stood out to me from not having watched Orlando a whole lot this year is that they are eighth in the league in points in the paint. The Grizzlies 28th in scoring in the paint. However, they are top 10 in defending the paint. So you're looking at two top 10 teams going head to head, Grizzlies defending the paint, Orlando scoring in the paint. What do you think that matchup looks like in tonight's game?
Well, for starters, I think that one thing that Paolo said after the loss against Cleveland was that this team has to be consistent on both ends of the court. And so I think when you look at this matchup, you're going to see a team that's looking to continue to be really hone in on their defense again, because that's what their bread and butter, that's literally what they are known for.
Mhm.
And when it comes to points in the paint, I think that what you've seen glimpses of like second chance points is that they're really trying to improve on and work on. And I think you just see them kind of pack the paint a little bit more if, they can't get out for the three. So I'm excited because I think this is more of not a revenge game, but more of a like, let's get back to playing Magic basketball kind of game for them. And I think you'll see just how much they are going to be a little bit more aggressive.
Defense,
Yeah.
you said it. They're sixth in the league, defensive rating, Grizzlies 11th. Like I mentioned, both low scoring teams. You think this is a very like defensive, old school, low scoring game?
I think so. I think it might be. It all depends on who gets hot though. Like, within the league, it only takes like one person to get hot. But with this team, they live off of their defense. This is what they're known for. This is what they've worked so hard for. This is what keeps teams, wondering. This is when we went on that 9-game win streak. Like that was when we leaned so hard on the defense. So I think you're gonna see that, but at the same time, it really just all depends on who gets hot at the right time too, because we've seen that like even when in certain games, like Paolo can drop like 40 and like it just you just don't know how how the night's gonna go. So but I do think if this team leans on defense, it could be a very low scoring game, but that's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not. Let's talk about Paolo because he leads this Magic team in points per game, rebounds, assists, all three of those categories. What have you liked about him this season?
I think the growth and just wanting to make sure that he is, growing from that rookie year. I think that was the biggest thing for him and wanting to do that is just to kind of take that next step and take that next level. I think him playing in the FIBA Men's World Cup helped him see other competition. I think him continuing to be in, the great categories and be able to be around so many like-minded people. I caught up with him when we were in Phoenix, and I kind of asked him about him and his relationship with KD. And he said it started when KD was with Brooklyn. And so he was just like, that's when it started. And so when you see guys kind of form relationships with guys who are going to continue to be amazing in this league and continue to dominate, you're seeing that he's taking that next level and the next step. So I think that's been the fun part of it all, is just seeing him mature and get to that next level.
The fun thing about me is when we see guys who played for Team USA and
Mm-hmm.
you have Paolo on one side, you're going to have Jaren on the other side, and how well they know each other in their game, and how much, like Jaren's going to tell the guards on his team, like, watch out for
What to
Paolo
look out
doing
for.
this, and the same
Yeah.
for the opposite way. So I think that's always kind of like a fun storyline to watch. And we finally get another one. We don't have a ton of them around the league, but we'll get one against Orlando.
Yeah, that's always the fun part too, though, is that those relationships that really form within when they play outside of their team. So it's kind of cool to see that, but then also cool to see like their growth from it and just the experience they take away from those kind of opportunities.
Okay, because it's the first time we're playing this team, let's
Mhm.
do matchups. We are down 100 guys, so good luck picking. One matchup that you're excited to watch tonight.
If we're down, if we're going to like what we got going on, probably like Paolo and Vince. That's probably going to be one that you look out for. Um, and I mean, I hate to say that's it, but I mean, I feel like that's probably the one that we're going to see the most throughout that night. And overall, though, it should be a really good game. I'm excited to see what this Magic team does, because you can just tell that they feel as if everyone is able to stay healthy, if everyone is able to stay, able-bodied, they haven't played their best basketball yet. They haven't played their best Orlando Magic basketball yet. So if we can just continue the consistency of playing like this, or continue being healthy, I think it's just like it's going to be cool to see, because I think that this is their time to really, you know, put themselves out there even more. Like this is
Yeah.
it.
And on the flip, like those are what Orlando Magic fans want. Grizzlies fans on the other side are, I think, going into games now being like, the guys that are going in, you're being led by your two-way players, mainly,
Hmm.
and Jaren Jackson Jr. You got nothing to lose. So you're going in
Hmm.
with the mindset of, hey, we have nothing to lose here. We're gonna play at 1200% and just hope for the best. And it's been working the last two games against a very healthy Miami team, against a very healthy Raptors team. And so I think you're heading into this game trying to keep Orlando from getting back into that win column. So it'll be
Hey,
fun.
I gave you a little bit of a spark. I told you how we only had like 8 players when we played Denver, and we ended up beating Denver. So I don't want to continue to give you guys our good energy, but I mean, hey, anything can happen in this league. It's night in, night out. Everyone is giving it their all. So anything can happen, but I'm really hoping that the Magic do get the win in this game.
Kendra, thank you so, so much for breaking this one down. I'll see you in a few hours at the arena. And
Yes.
okay.
See you soon. Go Magic. Woo.